One thing is water. It said you really need about a half liter for every hour that you're walking. Some of us, like myself, probably don't do that much on it. So you can carry water several different ways. I like to have containers that'll keep my water or whatever I'm drinking cool, like a metal container. I do not like to carry single-use plastic bottles with me ever because they tend to not come home with you. So if you can avoid that, totally, please do it. Sometimes with some of these packs that you'll have, you can get a bigger bladder if you want to carry a lot of water comfortably. In a backpack, they have built-in water bags, water bladders with a hose you can suck out of. You got to keep these clean because after a few days, if you don't clean them, you might not be out hiking and spend some of the day inside on stuff like that. So the water is one of the more important things. We also talk about navigation. Everybody has a cell phone. There's GPSs on your cell phone. There's all kinds of stuff you can use with that. If that battery goes out and you're not carrying an extra battery with you, which is a wise thing to have if you're going to be out for a full day, is carry a battery backup to plug your phone into. It's smart to learn how to use a compass. And even on big trails, to be able to read a topographic map. This is a very small one, but this is actually a map of the whole Hall Creek complex right here. This is all 4 or 5 of the preserves that are out here. You can download these offline very easily and just have something to take with you on some of the bigger ones, especially if you're vacationing out in the mountains. Another thing, especially now moving into the seasons when the sun goes down very quickly, is to have a headlamp. This is always handy. If you have to go in and read, find yourself, if you're out late at night, the headlamp's going to allow you to find your way back. You don't have to hold it in your hand like you would a flashlight. Always check your batteries before you go out so you make sure you have batteries. They're still good on it. That's one of the essentials. Sun protection always is, and sun protection can be not just suntan lotion, all season long, even in the wintertime with it. Hats that offer sun protection, clothing that will offer sun protection with it. Sunglasses, which are on my pack right here. These are things that you need, and especially, again, wintertime, springtime, fall, summer, whenever, are all very handy things that you should really have with you to keep you from getting fried and burned on it. Always a first aid kit of some kind. You can pick this out. You can buy pre-done ones. You can make your own first aid kit. You can take stuff that you want with you. Something not to forget in our area, I consider as a first aid, is insect repellent. Maybe some bite lotion or Benadryl, an EpiPen if you're allergic to bee stings and stuff like that. A knife or a multi-tool is always handy to have. This is my favorite one. You can see there's a corkscrew on it, just in case I find a bottle of wine out there somewhere. But you've got, all handy things that you may need that knife somewhere down the line with you. Not so much on day hikes around here, but you should have something that if you do get stuck out at night, you can build a small fire. This is a little fire kit with a flint and steel and some small kindling to get going to where you can then pick up some sticks and build yourself a little bit of fire if you do need to be warm. Don't be using just this to build a fire to say you're building a fire. That's got to be really careful with that. But in an emergency case, you may need to be heated. Also, from the safety standpoint, a whistle so you can just start blowing that everybody can hear. I'm not going to blow this with it, but it's a very loud one that hopefully people can hear you. And in this case, quite a few miles. This comes off of kayaking. A emergency blanket or an emergency bivouac sack. Even if it starts to rain, you haven't gotten ready for the rain, you're not prepared, you've made a mistake and you've worn a cotton shirt, you're freezing, you can always put an emergency blanket on it as a shelter thing. Extra food is always handy to have. You can take, bars, biscuits like I like to have, gorp, all kinds of stuff to have with you for a little bit of energy if you get hungry. Extra clothes also. It's always nice to have an extra pair of socks with you in case you do step into a creek and things aren't drying or anything quickly. At least you can put on a dry merino wool sock to have. When we say extra clothing, you can also do hats and gloves, items like that. Be able to put on neck gaiters. You know, everybody tells you all your heat loss is through your head. The heat's got to go through your neck first, so don't forget your neck before you do some of the hats with it. Take a garbage bag, please. Everything you take in with you, take out with you. The garbage bag, you can help pick up some stuff. You can tie it to the back of your backpack coming out. So it's really something that personally I think you should take with you just to help clean things up that are out there. Obviously, a backpack, fanny pack, whatever you want to carry. Don't try stuffing everything in your pocket. It'll never work. As you see me digging through some of this earlier, it's even hard to find it in the pack. Personally, I've been hiking with hiking poles since I was in my 20s. That's way back in the 70-somethings. These give you support that you'd be surprised at. You know, maybe some people don't like to have a pair of them. You can use a hiking stave. You can grab a stick that you found in the woods on it, but it really helps support you on some uneven terrain that you're working with. So hopefully everything I've shown you, you'll see a few things on my table, which are some little extras I take with me. I've got a little stool, which is held my note cards. I like to have that just to take a seat. I always like to have, you know, if I've said you find a wine bottle, but there's some really good wine containers you can take with you, bags to put your waste in, some glasses that'll fold down really easy, so you're not taking up a lot of room to drink whatever you like to drink out there on the trail. Hopefully, I've given you some information. We're going to put my email address up on the video here. If you have any questions that are a little more specific or if you disagree with me, go ahead, send me an email, and I'll read it. I'll probably get back to you. Thanks for sitting and watching the video.